Welcome to the Artistic Mystic Muse channel. I'm Nancy, your Mystical Muse. Great to see all of you. Thank you, newbies, for joining us, taking a risk. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, or to reach out for me if you're interested in a reading, want something customized, or frequency jewelry. So, this is a collective reading for October 20 through 26, 2024, and it's called Becoming Authentic, Becoming Your Authentic Self. So let's dive into this. It says, show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So, removing of masks is what that entails. And your authentic self is your true self, not caring about how anyone receives you or doesn't receive you. You stand in your own truth, who you really are, and you live your life from that. They either get you or they don't, but you're not here to win everybody over, right? And when you're in your authentic self, you draw those people and situations that are in alignment with that and not fearing or pretending to be someone you are because out of fear, right? So, followed by, what do you need to release? Waning moon, that's that kind of in-betweeny thing. What do you need to release? And that's probably a fear, could be a doubt, could be the worry or whatever it is that's keeping you from being your authentic self, from living from a place of authenticity, of your own joy and happiness. So that's the theme for this week. Um, Bottom of the deck, oh, gibbous moon, you are very close to achieving your goal. So whether that's becoming more of your true self or something you've been working on, whatever that is, that's an expression of yourself, you're really close. This is beautiful. And the full moon is illuminating, right? It's, to me, this is like a funny version of seeing the forest through the trees. In this case, you're seeing the big picture, right? Through the trees, through whatever that is, right? That's awesome. Okay. We have many masks, authentic self, removing your masks, speaking your truth, as we call walking your talk in crow medicine. Get rid of the masks. You don't need them. You're beautiful and wonderful just the way you truly are without having to pretend or accommodate to make everyone else comfortable. You need to be comfortable with yourself, your true self. And there's no shame in it. There's no guilt in it. From there, we've got Skybridge, possibility for union. So union is that alignment, right? This is a gateway, taking the steps towards the alignment. And it's 47, which is 11. Gateway again, this birthing your new self, shifting. I love that card. Spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. When you become your authentic self and you live from that, other things are able to be brought in by the universe in whatever that adventure kind of is, right? So I love this. And it's water. This is emotions. When you're authentically yourself, you express yourself freely without shame, guilt, worry about anybody else. So I love this for our collective this week. Bottom of the deck, yeah, sky dancers, surrender. And we've got butterflies and dragonflies, which talk about transformation, which is a big theme here from the eclipse tunnel in September into a month of October. But the dragonflies I love because they're not only transformative, but they're got a little affirmation. They're the only insect that can pivot, that can adapt and pivot, right? Making those shift and changes. So with that, we've got frequency shift. As you remove the mass, you go through a shift in frequency. More things come online, other things are discarded. You could feel a little wonky. It's sometimes you have physical symptoms with this. So just know you may feel a little off this week. And again, we've got for alignment, for a union, you with your higher self, your soul, the divine, but mostly your union of your true self, coming into your authentic self, and your gifts. You've got gifts to give. Can they be intuitive? Sure. Can they be other things? Absolutely. Everybody's got gifts. Sometimes kindness, how kind you are to people is a gift. Letting those gifts be shared, to be shown, right? And they bring you joy because they create a state of flow because you're in your element, as we say. I love that. Yeah, it's time to take flight. Pun intended. We've had the butterflies and dragonflies, but butterfly of transformation, taking flight. And this is the new red, this raspberry color that I'm wearing today. This is the new red of divine feminine energy, but also the love energy. We've got shifting again. So, like I said, it could be a little weird this week for you. But in order to remove the mask, to become your authentic self, you have to sacrifice something. Beliefs, way you thought of looking at yourself, the words you use with yourself. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice to get to that authentic self? For some of you, there's been emotional loss. Now, what that can mean is a variety of things. It could be grief that takes different forms. You know, somebody you may have lost that you felt was your support system, right? But know that they are still with you. But also, there may be some grief, sadness this week with this shift because you're letting go of an aspect, part of your ego, that you once thought that was you, that defined yourself in a way, and you're breaking out of that. So it's okay for this change, 5, if you feel a little sad, grieving for the person you was or the child experiences that you're healing for a new beginning, stepping out with trust, faith, right? Oh my goodness. Wow, what a week. Okay, so happiness is your birthright. When you're your authentic self, you're happier. You're more at peace with yourself. So why wouldn't you want that for yourself? Yeah, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. What is being illuminated? What are you needing to shift, heal, release, right? To bring you into alignment, to bring you into your authentic self, to then bring those experiences that are kind of like the next level. I love this. For some of you, it's a love partnership, and that means the love partnership you have with yourself or your higher self, which they sometimes call your little you, your child aspect of you. For some of you, it may be love partnerships with family, friends, significant other, speaking your truth, being authentic, but it will create a shift for you. This shift because it's necessary. And no one's going to love you more than you love yourself. So you got to love yourself first. For some of us, we didn't get the love we needed from someone else, nor will we get it. So how do you find that or give that to yourself? And maybe, something is brought in, a person that's put in your path that gives you that. They might not be a blood relation, but they're providing you that with what you've always needed or to fill that. It's the key to the next adventure, this new beginning, this new pathway segment of your journey. So, and it's a 55. Again, it's a big change week. There's a lot of 5s here, which is amazing. I went to the goddess deck and Oshan came out. It talks about generosity, being generous with yourself. And that just doesn't mean what you do for yourself, but it's also how you care for yourself in that aspect, but mentally. And when you are generous with yourself and love yourself and your authentic self, it allows you to show that, model that for others, and your generosity towards others, your kindness towards others, because that comes from a place of unconditional love. So Oshan's there, and she looks to me like she's wearing this solar crown, right? The sun, the new beginning. I love that. We've got Mama Kila. I'm not sure what group she's from, culture. Looks like K. And it says the moon. So things being illuminated, being revealed. Emotions are also the what do you want to call it? Not the underworld, but like those things that it may have been hidden, being illuminated. The moon's also about going with the cycles, going through this shift, right? With going with it, going with the flow, because the moon controls, like the water, the ocean tides. It's the same concept. And the moon is also tapping into the feminine, the emotions of the feminine, the nurturing of the feminine. And she also reminds me of the Divine Mother in blue, but the water is related to the moon, as we said, in that shedding, right? That cleansing. Big thing. We've got Artemis. We've got focus, right? We talked a little bit about focus. What's your new focus? You're removing the mask. So what direction do you want to head with something? Maybe it's changing how you care for yourself with what you eat or exercise. It could also be something you're interested in that you've kind of put off that you want to pursue. Make the time to pursue it. That's part of your wellness. It's also whatever you're attracted to, whatever that is, or creating, whatever form that takes. And then we've got Bridget, we've got creative spark. Now, creativity comes in all ways, but I see the 8 as the magician. It's got all the tools. What are we going to create and manifest for yourself? And that can look like anything. Oh, bottom of the deck, white buffalo calf woman, reverence. Reverence, respecting and knowing that you are sacred, right? Powerful, very powerful. In just you're beautiful just the way you are. Okay. And then I had a bunch come out that they said I had to take them all. So bottom of the deck, nourishment. How are you nourishing yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? We got the 7, which talks about um, creating that, putting things into play, things you start to take a step or create, how you're going to, like a little plant, how you're going to nurture it so it can grow. How are you going to grow? What are you doing to nourish yourself? We've got creation again. What are you creating? What are you co-creating with the universe so that it can come in for you? Assessing this week. That mask again. Assessing yourself. We've got the duality, loving both aspects of yourself. So there's the light and the dark, but the goal is to come in the middle and be balanced with both, loving both, not going over on one end or the other. Assessing is not criticizing, but it's analyzing, looking at things. And she's got a telescope, going far, going deep, right? Yeah, to get through this portal, the dark night of the soul, the eclipses we're going through into this new beginning. You've been gestating like the caterpillar, the emulsified caterpillar, and you're getting ready to launch, right? Transform. Self-love again. I'm just saying it's a thing. How are you loving yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Having gratitude for where you are right now, for any and all things, all shapes, all sizes, all kinds. That comes also with boundaries, right? Cutting out, blocking, whatever you want to call it, things that don't serve your highest good. How you're treated, who you hang with, whatever that is, how you're dealt with. And the bubble doesn't mean that you're in denial or you're like, maybe you got to go into hermit mode, but it's a healthy boundary. And there's that love again, that raspberry magenta. And there's a little floating, to me it looks like a lotus flower, that epiphany, that aha, like, oh yeah, I need to set a boundary here because they just take advantage, or they always, I always overgive, or I always am being asked to do things, and maybe you should not be the go-to person all the time. Because once you remove the mask, you come from a place of balance, self-love, you're going to start attracting things that are of that frequency, of that new frequency. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so that's what is the real you. It's time for that person to emerge, right? So I'm close out this reading with my B Oracle deck. Links below if you're interested. No special instructions, but to see, because the B is about community, but it's also about creating the sweetness of life, right? The honey. And they create, their little honeycomb. Be present. Be present with whatever's shifting and going on. Let it be. That means being okay with it. I also heard let sleeping dogs lie. Some things you just need to walk away from. And we got 2 more. Home is where the honey is. You are the honey. You are the home. What home is to you, being your authentic self. Be careful with words, thoughts, and actions. So as these triggers come up, right, things you're examining, be careful with how you talk, think, and what you do regarding yourself and others. Yeah, be a hive of wisdom and knowledge. Use those experiences of the past, your wisdom and knowledge, to make better choices, to, you know, create the new you that's always been there, but it's been, you know, covered up with all these experiences so it can emerge, right? Love you all so very much. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.